Hi you guys, this is Allison. I'm hanging out in my space to craft, and I have been going through some old photos, and I found this one. It's of my two great nieces many years ago. She is now married and 28, I think, maybe 27. And this one is a senior in college. So, but I just have always loved this photo. They just look like little fairy princesses. And so I want to scrapbook it and do just a really pretty page for it. So, went into my scraps. I have been hanging on, not intentionally, but I've had this piece of paper for approximately forever, and just waiting for the right photo for it, and here it is. I also, so what to go with it, so I went into my scraps and found some other pictures. Now, a big piece of this wouldn't necessarily look good with that, but I'm going to perhaps be able to mat something with it to pull that out. I also have this as a solid because it's the right tones. I found this one that I could use if I needed a shelf or tuckies or something like that. And then I'm like, all right, so that's probably enough papers to start with. I went into my 49 and Market, and this is the only one of these laser cuts that I have. Oh, I may have just bought one for Kaleidoscope, but this is Art Options Viking. And so I thought maybe these colors, not all the purples are the right purple. If you can see, that's not quite the right purple, but some of them are, and both of the greens kind of go. So there's this teal, turquoise kind of green, and then a true green. So I pulled some pieces out. I'm gonna leave it out because I may very well pull some more or switch some things around. And they have this frame in there, which I am a little bit in love with. I don't want to cut off too much of the photo, but I think I can do this without losing much of the photo, or at least the important parts of the photo. So I think that is a plan. And then use these papers for additional paper underneath it, just sort of stack them up. And I may actually trim this a little more to take away the cream so that it sits more directly onto the colors. I'm not sure if I'll probably use this just so there's multiple layers here. And then I also found this beautiful piece of lace to tuck under there, but I definitely want some layers before I do that. And maybe I'll create that shelf for it and have this. So something like that. I then looked at these for titles, and there's one that says Dreamer, but it's two girls, so that won't quite work. There's a Lovely, but the Lovely is not in the right purple. So I found this in an Amy Tangerine chipboard, which I like, and I'm going to color it. I just have to figure out which color. Maybe I'll do this this brown, but make it a little bit mottled. I'm not sure, so I'm gonna have to play with that a bit. And I may do the playing on a piece of craft cardstock just so I don't ruin this in the process. And so I think that we'll do, now I just did my daughters. These will obviously be in very different albums because this is many years ago and that one is just from this year. But for my daughters, I did the picture here and then the embellishments coming down this way. So I don't know if I want to switch that up. I love this doily heart here. I do have, I may cut, I do have a heart die that is pretty lacy, if you will. So I may do that as well to try and tie that together. So I could switch it up a bit and do it this way, just so you guys don't have to see the same. And that way my embellishments can come from this heart and I can make use of that. I think that's better than going this way and then still having those items there. So that is my basic plan. I need to figure out if I want to put this on a mat to frame it. I'm not sure I want to do that. I'm going to start by inking this in dark brown and see where that gets me. I'm going to trim this. I'm going to cut some additional mats for papers for behind this. And I think that's it for now, and I'll come back. All right, just checking back in. I have matted this, trimmed it, inked it, scuffed this piece. I have a pretty intricate heart die. So I cut it out of this purple and then out of a shimmer white, so that is somehow it makes it a little less busy, and another shimmer white, so it's white, purple, white. I think I like that. I haven't cut or trimmed anything with this yet, but I wanted to tackle the title. So I just did a test of Distress ink, and I used Seedless Preserves. So this is, and this paper is real close to the same color. So Seedless Preserves, and then I have this Stardust embossing powder on top of it to make it iridescent. It does mean that I'm going to want a little more iridescence glitter elsewhere. So I may do something else, like I may make that this similar. I think I will, in fact. But I like that. So let me show you what I'm going to do. When I do, and I'm going to move this out of the way first. When I do embossing, I use a coffee filter because it's handy. And I'm going to just ink this pretty well because you want it to stay damp. And the nice thing about this Distress Oxide is that it is pigment. It does sit on top and not soak in and dry so fast, so that you do, oh, and I probably shouldn't have done that on my coffee filter. Probably just ruined my coffee filter, but that's okay. And then we'll just sprinkle some. And it doesn't have to be total coverage. This is transparent. All right, so I'm just gonna go heat emboss this, and I'll be right back. down. Okay. So here it is. I like the way it came out. Now, one thing about this is it's not smooth. It does feel a little scratchy. That's okay. All right. Let's take care of this one in the same way. And I will need my tweezers for this. All right, I'm happy with that. I might make another one of those. We'll see. All right, a little bit more work to do, and then we'll come back and start on ephemera. Okay, cleaned up just a bit. I just cut a small heart out of that little scrap of paper that I used. I may make another one or two of those just so it's a little more consistent. I've laid out all my ephemera. The only ephemera I have out right now is the 49 and Market. So I'm going to see if that's going to be sufficient or if I have to dig into something else. But I'm going to try and do a cluster here, a cluster here, and a cluster here. So let's see. So I do have 3 of these, but I think that I probably don't need one up here, but I might want coming and going from there. This one I love. It's nice and big. It probably needs to go here so I get a little separation. Oops. The sticky's getting me. A little separation. And maybe this then can go with it. I have 3 little buggies. I need to decide where I would like them. I think I love this dragonfly. I think one up here and one down here. Let's see, this moment. I love this. And I think I'll probably put a gem or something on that, or maybe it starts from here. Like that. Dream, I can do happy thoughts underneath the dream. Scoot all of this up a bit. And I'll pop that up. Dream happy thoughts. I love this. Couldn't be more perfect. And I think this can go here. I may trim it a bit. Something along those lines, and maybe the bow needs to go up there. just to draw in a little more of that color at the top. Then I have some leafy bits. I think I need another leafy bit down here. And there are a few more on the page that if I need to go after them. Or maybe this goes on top of the leafy bits. Keep poking through the holes. Okay. I'll go back and zhuzh all this up. I did cut this with a border punch that I have, and I also scuffed the top of it. It doesn't really show much, but and this is going to tuck under. I don't think I need those. I do love this. It says captured. This is going to tuck under here a little more. Okay guys, I finished. Let me pull this out a little bit so you can get the whole thing in one shot. So I glittered and inked the title here, and it's looking a tiny bit crooked to me. There we go. I have 3 embellishment clusters. All the embellishments are 49 in market, other than the hearts that I cut out using a die. I just kind of let the photo drive the paper selections and the feel of it. So you can see there's quite a bit of dimension in each of the clusters. Things popped up. And I use some stickles for the little final touches on there. So please give this video a thumbs up, you guys, and come back for more. I should be making a card with my scraps from this.